So I've never really wanted to do a vegan story video. It's just not something that interests me. But when Desiree asked, I was like, fine, I'll do it. Is that a fire alarm? Or is it like a truck backing up? Is it gonna last a long time? Okay, it stopped. So when Desiree asked from the plant eaters for me to do a vegan story, I thought I'd do not so much of a vegan story, but a why I'm vegan and a vegan FAQ that I get. So the reason I never really want to do a vegan story and that I won't do a full like drawn out story, but I'll answer some of the questions I get is because I feel like too much value is placed on vegan stories. People set expectations based on the stories that they hear. And although veganism has been great for my life and it's improved so many areas of my life, it's situational and it varies from person to person because we're all different. And although I want to tell my story, I don't want it to sound like I'm guaranteeing anything or that I'm making promises that may or may not happen for another person. So I just wanted to put that little disclaimer before I started with my vegan story. So if you look at my Instagram or anywhere, it says that I'm an ethical vegan. Yeah, not ethical, ethical. And that's true, sort of. I think that you can be vegan for many reasons. You can be vegan for the animals, you can be vegan for health, which I'm vegan for both of those things, but that's not the reason I went vegan. I went vegan for spiritual reasons. And more specifically, I don't want to say spiritual because that kind of sugarcoats what I mean. I went vegan for religious reasons. I've never been a very religious person until the past 4 years, and I was a Christian, but I wasn't religious. I hadn't been to church regularly in probably 10 or 15 years since I was a child because my mom's not a big church goer, and I knew Jesus was a thing. I thought I believed him. I kept a Bible in the glove compartment of my car because I thought that would save me from getting in any accidents. But I wasn't religious in any way. So I had just started my weight loss journey around the time that I went pescatarian, which had nothing to do with health. I just didn't want to eat land animals anymore. So I was pescatarian. I had been vegetarian on and off for my entire life. So I was like, pescatarian, that's where I stop. So before I get deep down into why I'm vegan, the first time I heard or remember hearing about veganism was in a book called Do You by Russell Simmons. And it's a book about how to succeed in business. And he talked about the keys to success being working hard, treating your body right, and basically rising for other people. And that's where I get a lot of my work ethic from, was from reading that book. And he talked about veganism in it and how different things affect your body and how they affect culture in general. As a black man, he talked about how it influenced his culture, and it was just such a logical, cool, hip-hop kind of way that I really dug it. I wasn't considering veganism at all at that point, but I'm glad that that was my example of what veganism was. So I was sleeping like the angel that I am in bed one night, and I awoke the next morning and I remembered my dream, which I never remember dreams. And the dream, I remember vividly, I was crying, and I don't know why, and Jesus told me to open the Bible. He didn't give me any more guidance other than open the Bible. So like I said earlier, not an avid Christian. The closest Bible was in my car. I went out there, I brought it inside, I opened it up to Genesis, and this is what I saw.
Then God said, I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food. and to all the beasts on the earth, and all the birds in the sky, and all the creatures that move along the ground, everything that has the breath of life in it. I give you every green plant for food." In the specific version of the Bible that I read, it said, "And the fruit shall be your meat." And that was the biggest revelation I had.
And I took it really literally, and I went vegan 2 days later. I went vegan in 2 days. And then within that process, I just became a lot closer to God. And I started listening to more Christian music, and it was amazing to me how often in the Bible they praised animals. And even though God gave us dominion over the animals, I don't think that was the right to eat them. I think it was the responsibility to care for them and protect them. I don't think it was to brutalize them and do what you please with them. Anytime an animal was killed in the Bible, it was out of necessity. It was because of extreme cold, because they needed to be clothed. It was because of extreme winter, because the land was so barren that there were no fruits or vegetables. So this was the only thing that could get them through until they could get to a land where they could find bread and fruits and vegetables, a lush land. And the thing that struck me the hardest was how thankful they were. And we're not thankful anymore for the animals that are killed, and how worthy they said those animals were, because they knew that at that time that animal sacrificed their life for the life of that human. But that's not why animals are sacrificed anymore. It's out of gluttony and greed and lack of compassion, conditional compassion, if you will. My goal as a Christian is to live like I think Christ would. And it's 2017. If Christ is always with us, but if he were here, I don't think that he would be okay with what we do. I don't think that my Jesus is a bigot. I don't think he would be okay with the level of damage we've done. I don't think he would be okay with the justifications I used to make for eating animals, and how I would choose who is worthy of my compassion when the Bible says that everyone is worthy. So that's why I'm vegan. I didn't go vegan for the animals. I didn't go vegan for health. Did I gain both of those things? Absolutely. But that's not why I went vegan. And I'm thankful that that's not why I went vegan, because there's something stronger tying me to veganism. I don't see it as a diet, or even, although I say it's a lifestyle, or even a lifestyle. I feel like it was my calling, and that it was a test. My life was hell on wheels before I went vegan, and I felt like it was a test that God put me through. And the closer I drew and the more I listened, the more blessings I received. Blessings as far as finding my passions and opening my heart, transforming my health. Things that I've wanted forever happened once I became vegan. And I think that was my gift for listening. So yes, my life has been transformed through Christ, and my gateway was veganism. So on to some of the frequently asked questions I get. One is, how long have you been vegan? I've been vegan since 2013. Another frequently asked question is, have I lost any weight? Yes. As a pescatarian, I lost 30 pounds. And as a vegan, I lost 89 pounds. I've gained 70 pounds back, and I'm maintaining a 50-pound weight loss. Am I trying to lose weight? No. At this time, it's not something that I really want to do. I work out 3 times a week to maintain the weight loss that I still have, because I don't want to be where I was. I have no interest to be 340 pounds again. But I'm happy and healthy at my current state. I dance 3 times a week. Dance classes aren't that hard for me, and they're actually really easy for me because I've been doing them for 4 years now. But it helps me maintain the weight loss that I still have, and if I want to lose weight again, I know how to do that because I've lost 120 pounds in total. But it's just not something I'm interested in at the moment. How am I so fat and vegan? I have been fat since I was 7 years old. I've always been a fat person. I will probably always be a fat person. Even when I lost 120 pounds, I was still 220 something pounds. So still a fat person. So yeah, that's that. The other 2 questions I get most of the time are you vegan for health, or are you vegan for the animals? The answer to both of those questions is yes. It's just not why I went vegan. But I think that's pretty much the bulk of the questions I get, is mostly if I want to lose weight, and if I'm vegan for animals, or if I'm vegan for health. Because I think those are the only 2 reasons people usually assume people are vegan for. So yeah, but I think you can be vegan for multiple reasons, or a combination of any of the vegan things. So I'll leave you guys with some resources. Some of the speeches that I listened to shortly after my transition to veganism that really helped me. Some of the podcasts that I listened to. This podcast covers things, everything from where you get your calcium, where you get your protein, how to cook tofu, is tofu or tempeh better, where to get your recipes, how to travel as a vegan, the stages of veganism, like that really angry stage that some of us go through, and family with the holidays and how to deal with all of that. This podcast covers everything that you could ever experience as a vegan, so I really recommend it, and I'll link it down below. All right, that's about all for this video, my loves. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, remember to keep an open mind, keep an open heart, practice unconditional compassion, and don't take shit from anyone, ever.